hello there. How you guys doing?
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you.
It's been a long time. First of all, as you guys can see, we are in Lobster Black here. We got you on video. We make a little video here.
Thank you.
Everything else has been punched in, so it should be out shortly.
Okay.
Did you guys want the dessert now or after everything?
Yeah, that has to come out now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So
Did you want to do the brownie overboard, like where it's the sundae, or did you want to do just the brownie with the ice cream?
it's a brownie ice cream. Yeah. So, as you guys can see, we are at our favorite restaurant, or one of our favorite restaurants here, and look at this drink here. This is that what is this? Pina colada?
Pina colada, peach pina colada. It's really good. Okay.
And then like, damn, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah. So, I want to welcome the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you guys for being patient. We have a lot of stuff going on. So I've been paying attention to we both been paying attention to the comments and the channel views and the followers, and yeah, you guys have been patient. Yeah, we've been working. As you guys know, we like to work. But today's video gonna be nice and long and special. So we're gonna share a lot of stuff with you guys, and it's gonna be very interesting. You might want to pause the video, get your popcorn, and whatever else, your candy or your what do you call them candies? Them bean candies in the box that we used to get.
Them Boston baked beans?
Not Boston baked beans. The different colors, the Tollivers or something like that. Anyway, do what you guys need to do. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting video. So
let's get right into it. Okay, first we're gonna begin by saying we know everybody has probably been wondering what's been going on with the case, with the cases, the case that was in the Supreme Court, and all that. So I'm gonna just take this step by step because I don't want to confuse everyone. For the people who know that we did a writ of certiorari to the Supreme Court, what we would like to say in regard to that is we would like to let you know that the Supreme Court generally does not accept cases based on the merit of the case. The Supreme Court accepts cases generally on if there is a conflict between circuit courts, like if there's a ruling by, for example, the Sixth Circuit that would be ruled different maybe in a Ninth Circuit, then that's called a circuit court split. And additionally, the Supreme Court is looking for circuit court splits. So we did have a circuit court split in our case, but the Supreme Court of the United States, they generally take 1% cases on certiorari. So if they get 1,000 writs of certiorari in, they will generally accept 10. They will generally accept 10, so 1%. So I'm saying that to say that they don't view merits of the case initially. They're looking for if the law is settled on that or not. And a lot of times, even if you have a circuit court split, and if the law is not settled on that matter, they still may pass your case up and say, okay, we're not going to hear this case for no particular reason. They don't always have to have a particular reason to not accept that cert petition. So we would like people to know that our cert petition did not get accepted for the challenge to the judicial immunity. Now, we do have some great news though. We do have a RICO lawsuit now. We have a RICO and a Monell lawsuit filed in the District of Arizona, and it was filed May 8th of this year, and it has about 30 defendants on there, and the complaint was about 600 pages long, containing exhibits. I have it right here.
Got some good music.
So I'm going to show you guys the complaint, and we also have an order that was issued on May 9th. That was the day after the case was filed. The judge put out an order to advise all the defendants that there will be no 12B motions.
As they've been doing, just grew up this whole case.
Yeah, they've been putting 12B motions in the state court in evading responsibility, and they've been getting help by the judicial cabal of Ohio. Okay.
We got raped viciously in Ohio.
Yeah, we were very abused in Ohio. This is the complaint. This is the complaint that was filed.
Wow.
And all 30 defendants were served this complaint.
Look how big that thing is. Look how big it is. Look at that, baby. Look at that.
So this is the actual complaint, and it goes into very great detail of everything that these people have done to violate RICO laws. There are exhibits in here that corroborate the complaint, and all of the averments and the allegations in this complaint are consistent with Ashcroft versus Iqbal and Bell Atlantic versus Twombly, which governs pleading standards and specificity standards. So that has been done. So we do have our case pending, and we're going to be going right into discovery. We're having an initial discovery, and then we're going to go into the discovery that's governed by the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. So there will be no 12B motions on this case, and this case is going to really be worked. It's going to be really worked the way that the other cases should have been, and because we were abused in the state court, and this complaint is about organized crime that is taking place in many of the Ohio courts that we've been in, and they're organized thwarting of constitutional rights. All right, like we said in the last video, Monell claims and Rico claims can be asserted, okay, against Monell claims against government municipality, and Rico against non-government entities, and thank you, and government municipalities. No, non-government municipalities for the RICO. I'm sorry.
Remember those?
What is that?
That's that calamari.
Oh, okay, I do remember those. So yeah, so we did a lot of work, and that's why we have been away, because we've been busy. So here's the complaint. This was filed.
That's a big complaint. That's probably the biggest complaint we ever had.
Yeah, it is.
Or the biggest thing, or the most word I should say.
And the defendants were served this past Monday. They were served this past Monday, and so yeah, that's what's going on now. So now we're in the federal court in Arizona. We feel that we will have a better chance in this court because it's not where their friends can help them, like, you know, many of the other court proceedings, and even the bankruptcy proceeding that Moses was involved in. They were all working in collusion with each other and helping each other, because in Ohio there operates a judicial cabal. Okay, like I stated in a previous video, that these people, they are taking orders. Okay, these people are taking orders and these people are not following their guidelines like they should be, all right? They're shortcutting, getting favors, and, you know, playing with the mail, stopping people's mail, next day deliveries, and, you know, all kind of thwarting. And that's why it's very important that we made this channel and put this out there, because if a person was going through this by themselves on a personal basis and they didn't have any kind of support, a person would think that they were crazy for saying this stuff, because you know it sounds a little outlandish, but we have everything to support our claim, and we feel like it's going to be a good case. We have a very, very good case, very good solid case, and we intend to fight it vigorously and aggressively. All right. So many of the named defendants are individuals and municipalities, government municipalities and non-government municipalities. Okay. And also, what I want to talk about is that yours? Yeah. Thank you so much. What I also want to talk about is Moses had a court hearing that he had to go to
For divorce.
In the divorce court of Franklin County in front of Judge Kimelena Brown. Okay, and this took place yesterday, and you know, it wasn't that long. It was generally brief, and they have decided that they are not going to have a trial now, and they have strike the trial dates. So we're trying to see what they intend to do as far as that. So we're waiting on, you know, things to pan themselves out.
More it's like a kid issue with the kids.
Yeah, so he'll be getting that wrapped up soon. So that's running its course, and we just wanted to let you know about that. But back to the main subject of this video is this Rico lawsuit that we have and Monell lawsuit that we have against them now. The judge ordered them to refrain from any motion to dismiss. So they will need to file a certification with the court before they attempt to file any type of 12B motions. And all 12B motions are ordered to be generally avoided, okay? Generally avoided. So we're going to get down to justice in this matter, and we intend to fight vigorously.
They probably don't know what 12B motion is.
It's generally a motion that gets rid of the lawsuit against the defendant, but there will be none of that because we've provided enough evidence, and we've provided enough supporting documents to attach to the allegations that we made. So we properly stated a claim in which relief can be granted. Okay. So we properly stated claims upon which relief can be granted, right? So, yes, so that's that. Now, when we went to this court hearing, this is about to get interesting, so hold on to your seats. When we went into this court hearing in Columbus, Ohio, we hadn't even been in Columbus, Ohio for 30 minutes. We wasn't even there 30 minutes. We rented a black 2019 what was that, a GMC? A GMC?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a GMC, and they had New York plates on it. So we were not even there for 30 minutes, and we got pulled over by the Columbus Division of Police, who is also a defendant on this RICO complaint. Okay? They pulled us over. When they pulled us over,
That was like the next day after they was wasn't that the next
yeah,
day?
that was the Well, no, they were
Tuesday, because the hearing was on Wednesday.
they were served on Monday.
Yeah, and we were there on Tuesday when they pulled us over. Right?
No, Wednesday. Today's Thursday. So
that was Wednesday.
yeah,
Was that after the hearing?
today is Thursday.
No. No, we good. Yeah. No, I mean like when we got pulled over by them, that was on a Tuesday, wasn't it? Because when was the hearing? The hearing was Wednesday morning. And they pulled us over before.
Yeah, so we got pulled over on Wednesday.
That was Wednesday.
You jet lagging. Okay, getting back to the subject. Yeah, we were pulled over on the way to the court. On the way to the court, we were pulled over, and the officer failed to identify himself. He refused to identify himself, and he wrote us a ticket. He wrote Moses a ticket for. Here's the ticket. He wrote this ticket, and he wrote this ticket for a violation of 2131.14a, signal before turning, and then he charged them with another charge called turning at an intersection. 2131.10, comma 1, comma 2. And this didn't happen at all. This was totally fabricated. So this was a totally fabricated ticket. And we requested for him to contact a supervisor and dispatch a supervisor onto the scene. And what he instead did was he dispatched two fellow rookie officers. And when they got to the scene, they, we explained to them, what happened and everything. And they said, well, we didn't do it. He did it. We didn't do it. We're not the one who gave you the ticket. It was him. And so we explained to him that, what's going on and, how we have a pending case against them. And, and then they said, well, we were notified that some guys were coming in that had some problems with us. And they were coming from New York. So the Tahoe that we were riding in had New York plates on it. Okay. So he confirmed that they had they already been notified about us. So basically it was a targeted stop. It was a harassment, and it was a retaliation for this lawsuit. And retaliation is a violation of 18 U.S.C. 1513E, which is a predicate act of RICO. Okay, so that they just made matters worse. They just made the situation worse by doing that. So what we did,
a little small detail before I forget. When he pulled us, it was interesting because when we pulled, it was a stoplight. He was already ahead of us. I could have easily got behind the officer and avoided him, but I just pulled up on the side of him. I just pulled up on the side of him. I looked at him, and he looked at me. We made eye contact, and as soon as we made eye contact, he put his blinker on and got right behind me. Who does that? What officer does that? Like what? That was a red flag right there when he did that.
Yeah, he got right behind us, and we videoed the whole thing. And we said, watch him pull us. And he pulled us over. And then he was so scared. He was so scared. I felt bad for him. Because he was so scared when he came to the window. When we began to talk.
Very scared.
He was extremely scared, and this is how they're playing with people up there, and it's not right. It's not right. We have been in Arizona for 8 months now. We've been living here for 8 months, and we haven't been stopped by the police not one time. Okay? Last year, in 2018, we were stopped by the police in Ohio 7 times. 7 times, okay? 7 times. But getting back to this ticket that they wrote we immediately, since we were already on our way to court, we came there specifically to go to court. He wrote this ticket, set a court date for May 31st at 9 a.m. So what we did is we went down to the courthouse and entered a motion to dismiss before a case number could even be created. And we advised them that that was done in retaliation.
That's exactly what it was. Oh, that's his.
No, that's yours.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking something else.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What are you guys talking about, if you don't mind me asking?
We're talking about this federal case that we filed against the state of Ohio. And it's a 600-page RICO complaint. RICO.
On some RICO charges.
Yeah, RICO charges. Yeah, so this is organized crime and conspiracy against civil rights and action against a few we got an action against a few lawyers, a few government municipalities, and the FBI Columbus field office in Columbus. So it's a pretty serious case, and it's being heard downtown here in the Federal District Court of Arizona. So yes, it's very, very serious. You have 600 pages here, over 600 pages of exhibits.
You might be seeing it on the news.
You will be seeing this on the news. This is a very serious situation involving organized crooks, dirty cops, dirty detectives.
That's everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
I got a lot of family in LA, and like,
The LA police is the first police to be brought up on a RICO lawsuit, to be brought up on the RICO charges. Because generally, you can't bring RICO charges up on a government municipality.
well, that's the thing though. Is like, so my dad used to be involved in a lot of gang wars in like Northern California. He used to say, "Yo, cops are nothing more than organized gangsters." That's it.
Yeah, and so, you know, especially if people don't know their rights. So if people don't know their rights and they don't exercise them, then the
They'll abuse the system.
environment becomes commonplace that, okay, people don't know their rights, so I'm gonna just do this. And then when you get in front of someone who knows their rights, then it's like, well, why are you giving me a hard time? They view that as you giving them a hard time because they're out of practice.
They view it as them being objected to and not respecting the authority when they're trained to, okay, if they don't respect the authority or for whatever reason that they resist, by all means, detain them, which is a problem.
Yeah, so which is generally unconstitutional. So, you know, we had to, you know, teach these people a lesson and show them. And the judge down here issued an order and told them that there would be no motions to dismiss because we took an action against them in the state of Ohio, and they've been entering motions to dismiss, and their friends been helping them. Yeah, you know, their friends been helping them.
It's just like the sheriffs that pay off the judges because they want to get voted again. I want to stay the sheriff for a reason.
It's big business. So, you know, we have to do a couple things and jump through a couple hoops, but they definitely met the match.
If this makes it through all the way through and it's actually like goes through and those individuals have the charges pressed against them, this is going to be like a monumental case because there's too much corruption, there's too much abuse of power, there's another word that I'm looking for. But basically, like, it's just you can't.
Judicial corruption.
Yeah, you can't fight. It's like it's automatically if you go. How many cops have shot somebody that have been unarmed?
And we know why that happens, and we know exactly why they get away with that. It's because you have to be able to know. You have to know how to bring action yourself. If you don't, like, see, me and him, we are our own lawyers. We did this. A lawyer is not going to get involved in this because of conflict of interest. And in the event that he does, you know, he's going to work for them because his first obligation is to the courts. and it's not to the client. So we understand all of those sophisticated intricacies. So upon knowing that, that allowed us to really dig down and get down to the meat of this. So, you know, we pretty much we did all this work.
600 pages.
2 years. We've been going through like over 2 years now.
It's worth it though,
Yeah, it
because
is.
that'll inspire somebody else. It's like there was a Generation Z was suing the United States government because the United States government was in cahoots with ExxonMobil, who had known in 1991 that their forecasts for global weather, like global warming and climate change, were accurate because they knew that they were polluting the world.
Yeah.
And then that case got dismissed because the individuals representing it were under the age of 18. So because they didn't have proper representation, they said, okay, well, it's not a real lawsuit because you're not of age to sue us.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you go to war with somebody that has so much money, that's what I was going to say. You can't go to war with a for-profit institution and not have capital backing.
Well. Let me chime in on that. The Constitution, if you know how to use it, is a very effective tool, because it doesn't matter how much money or how many high-profile attorneys they get. You cannot dispute evidence. You see what I mean? Evidence, consistency, tenacity. You can't do that. There's no amount of money that's going to be able to stop that. And see, that's what these people thought generally, initially, because, you know, they paid off people, they've thwarted processes, they had help in the Sixth Circuit, they've stretched out bankruptcy cases, and they've done a lot of things to abuse. And so all of those favors that they got and all of those people that they got involved in that, they are going to have to answer for this through this, and additionally, it's going to make those people look bad that didn't do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So we believe that it's a scale. You know, it's like a teeter-totter. Like I always tell him, you can't get on this side without this side going up, and this side can't go up. It has to be a balance in there. So when they think that they're doing something slick on their side, you can't take without giving, and you can't give without taking. So it's a universal law that everybody is governed by. So we believe that the right thing will be done in this case, and it's fresh. It was filed May 8th, and the defendants were served on Monday, and it's going full steam ahead. Yeah, it's going full steam ahead.
Against the Columbus branch of the FBI.
They're not doing their job.
They're not doing their job. They're allowing this. They're aiding and abetting these state officials to commit these crimes.
Told us not to contact them anymore.
They sent us emails and said, don't call down here anymore. The FBI, they have a duty of care to investigate violations of 18 U.S.C. 241 and 18 U.S.C. 242, which is conspiracy of rights, conspiracy against rights, and deprivation of rights under the color of law. And deprivation of rights under color of law is state officials violating you and making you believe that it's the law to violate you. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
they're using reverse psychology to get you to,
and
basically.
And the FBI is not getting involved, and they're not doing their job. So they are aiding and abetting these people. And so they're not doing their job, so they have to be addressed, and that's why they got named in this suit. And the state Supreme Court, they got the Ohio State Supreme Court, they got named in the suit, and their Chief Justice, Maureen O'Connor, she knows this stuff is going on, and she gatekeeps it. They are selective in who they allow to have justice. So that's why we created this movement. That's why we made the channel that we made, and that's why we filed this lawsuit. So we have 6,500 subscribers now.
7,000 now.
7,000?
Mm-hmm.
So now the channel has been growing, and
There's a need for it.
yeah.
Because there's too many people that. Just like, how long have you guys been on?
We've been here for 8 months.
So did you guys see what happened in Mesa? With the dude that was...
I heard something about that.
So there was an unarmed father sitting, like he was laying down, he had his hands behind his back, he was unarmed completely in a hotel, and SWAT gunned him down like 6 bullets from an AR-15.
Yeah, I heard about
And
that.
we're like, why 6 bullets? Why not just one to detain?
Because
or why not a taser?
Because see, sometimes these untrained, these law enforcement officials that's not properly trained, they get together and it's like a wolf in a wolf pack, and they go wild, they on a frenzy, and they just want something to do, and so it's like a game to shoot, and it's just not good. So that's why I believe that all police officials should have insurance. Each one of them should carry an insurance policy, and every time they have an incident like that, it should be against that insurance policy, and they should have, and their premium should be decided on their conduct. You see what I mean? And that will take care of a lot of that, because the insurance companies will be like, well, we're not going to be paying this out. You know, it'll keep it in check. You see what I mean? When money is involved, it keeps things in check. But if you just ask someone to follow policy, they're like, oh, what the hell? Not if I feel
Because
like
they're not going to follow policy.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Everything looking good then?
Oh, yeah.
If you guys need anything else, just let me know.
Are you, you look like Serbian to me or something. Where do you look for Serbian?
I'm Mexican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I get Serbian a lot though because we have the same eyes. There's another girl working.
I was just about to ask you, did you see the girl?
Serbian girl who worked with
Sierra?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's Mexican too though. She's Mexican and Serbian.
Oh, really? That's why she got that little thing going on. She got.
Yeah. She's cool. I think she should be in there.
Yeah, that's our
Tell her
girl.
we back here. She'll know who we are.
For sure. Yeah. I appreciate what you guys are doing man.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like
We stand there for millions of people because, like he was saying, you can't, this type of stuff, when you're involved in that, with going against corrupt officials, you doing that by yourself, it's hard, man.
because they'll bury you.
Yeah,
They'll do whatever they can to.
most people gotta work. They have kids. They don't have the patience. They don't have the tenacity.
That's
Yes.
like, I want to do some reform with, like, it's the same way a lot of people feel about injustice. I just feel about certain rights. Like, how is it that, let's just say, magic mushrooms are decriminalized in Amsterdam? Crime rates have gone down there because everything's decriminalized. But now look at Colorado. Crime rates have gone down in Colorado because marijuana has been legalized. And now look at Arizona. If you there was this crazy story. This guy had one joint on him and got 13 years for one joint in Georgia.
Yeah, that's
13
ridiculous.
years. They're ruining people's lives over something that comes from the ground. That's what's killing me. I'm just like, you got people sacrificing their lives just because, like, if I want to go smoke a joint with my dog, I might be facing 4 years in prison. You know, if you distribute marijuana under the legal threshold in Arizona, it's considered an F2 felony. You know, the only thing that's